Hi, good evening, Tubesters. This is my 1-month surgiversary video. I had my vertical sleeve gastrectomy on August 1st, 2013. It's September 1st, 2013. So time for a video. From here on out, I'm only going to be doing my statistics each month, no more on the weekly, as I really hone in on what my goals are, and they really don't have that much to do with weight, a little bit to do with measurements, because I'm working out, and that's a large part of my goals is just getting fit again, and measurements do tell the tale on that. So but without further ado, because people do track weight, I'll start with that. My highest weight was 278. My weight 1 week before surgery when I was in the doctor's office was 255. 253 was when I started the 1 week liquid diet. That's what I'm trying to say. After the 1 week liquid diet, no, I'm sorry. When I started the 1 week liquid diet, 2 days after I'd been at the doctor's, I was at 253, and then the day of surgery was 243, and today at 226. So that is a total loss of 16 pounds. Well, actually I rounded things off, so 242.6 was the day of surgery, 226.4 was this morning, so that's 16.2 pounds in the 1 month since my surgery. I'm pleased with that. I do get competitive, and if the competitive part of me started to take over and say, oh gosh, most people lose 25, 30 pounds or something like that, you know, I could drive myself crazy with that. But honestly, it isn't about the weight with me, as you should gather from my videos. It's about fitness, feeling better, getting back into shape. Those are the things that are much more meaningful to me anyway. So I'm not really scale oriented. Having said that, I do weigh every day, and what I do with that is to kind of have as a check on me as to what I'm eating and how it's affecting me, because I have to watch against bloating and food intolerances that cause me to bloat, and allows me to adjust my diet accordingly. So if I see that I'm not losing, or if I'm going up, then it's usually because I have too much dairy in my diet, or red meat gives me constipation. So I checked that theory out last night, and sure enough, it's true. So I use the scales more that way, why I'm weighing every day. But for my purposes, I'm happy. I'll be on track so long as I am averaging about 2 pounds a week, or around 8 to 10 pounds a month. That's fabulous as far as I'm concerned. So losing 16 pounds is ahead of the game. Of course, later it will be harder, and I know that, but my plan is to work that much harder in terms of physical activity, which is where I want to be anyway. So let me get to measurements, because I know that's another thing people want to hear on these type of videos. I'll do that, and then get into the things that are more important to me. Okay, hips, I've lost 2 inches. Abdomen, across the belly, I lost 1 inch. The smallest part of my waist, I lost 3 inches. 2 inches from my bust, 1 inch from my neck, 1.5 inches from my upper arm, which I'm pumped about because I've been working on my upper arms. I really hate the flappy upper arm thing, which I am determined to minimize as much as I can. I'm not going to be having any kind of skin surgery and all that kind of thing. I'm going to try to do what I can with what I've got. Okay, 0.5 inches off my upper thigh, and my calves stayed the same. No surprise there. Fairly muscular in my calves, and I think it'll be a while before I see any difference in that one way or the other. In fact, I've had bigger calves when I was a lot lighter because of my cycling and swimming, and that's awesome, you know, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, now more what I'm thrilled about is that I met several of the goals well, I met all the goals that I had meant to meet for this month, and actually met a couple of next months early. So let me go into the goals that I've met, and sorry for the dog and the hummingbirds and all the other extra background noise. Okay, my goals. I fit into clothes I wore 7 years ago when I first met my husband. I started fitting back into those clothes about 3 weeks ago, I guess I would say. Maybe, yeah, about 3 weeks ago. And that was cool. But what surprised me was 3 days ago I tried on my wedding dress, which was a size smaller than when I met my husband, because I worked out and lost some weight and did all that thing. So my wedding dress was smaller than when I first met him. And I got into the wedding dress too, so that was cool. That's a size 18, and a tight 18 actually. So I was thrilled that I could fit in it and actually look better, I think, in it now than I did 7 years ago in terms of how my figure was fitting into it. Not that you could tell much off the video I made on my wedding dress, because that was kind of a bad quality video, but I could tell definitely I looked better this time around. So that was a goal, that fitting in the wedding dress was one thing I didn't think I would meet until this next month, but I got into it a few days early. Yay! Okay, another goal was to take my rings off easily. I can do that, and I did that within a week after surgery. I wanted to walk at least a mile, be able to walk easily a mile without getting winded, and I did 1.38 miles this morning. It was the first time I ever actually gauged what I was walking while I was walking, and I threw in there some pretty tough hill work too. We have in our neighborhood, we have an incline of about like that going up, so I thought, well, I'll just try a little bit of this hill and I'll go back down, turn around when I'm too tired. But actually I went up it, which is, it's about 2 fairly long blocks of an incline, and got up it just fine, and back down and around, and so that was cool. So I am above the 1 mile, and that's cool. I also got into the pool this month for the first time in maybe a year and a half or so. Swam laps, felt great. I'm going back this evening. Can't wait. I love being in the pool. I not only swim laps, but I do running in the pool. It's a great way to, it's the only way that I will run. I just walk or race walk on land, but in the pool I will run because it's not hard on your joints at all, and you get a tremendous workout. Try it sometime if you don't believe me. And it'll seem easy. You don't think, oh, I'm not really working out, but then you'll see the difference in your legs really fairly quickly. A week or two, you'll really notice it. Okay, so back in the pool, that was awesome. And the other goal that I met was getting back on the bicycle, which I did this morning. And I have to say that that's been 2 years in the making, working the courage to get back on it, because the last time I was on the bike, I think I was around in the maybe mid 230s, 240, something like that. At any rate, when I got on the bike, I fell right over and hurt myself. Excuse me. When you're heavy and you're 58, and well, at that time I was 56, and you fall over on concrete, it hurts, and it kind of remains with you, that image. And at that point I said, I'm not getting back on the bike until I've lost some weight. And in my mind I thought, I'm going to get down to at least the 220s before I think about doing this again. So I'm back in the 220s, and I said to myself this morning, you know what, enough of the excuses. You're just going to try, and if you fall, you fall, but you're going to try. It was a little slow going, a little hesitant getting on it, but I got on it. Now, in case you're thinking this is some little beach bike or something, the bike that I have is actually a specialized road bike, and it is set, because my legs are a lot longer than my torso, it's really set for leg-wise, seat-wise. Seat is pretty high, set for somebody who's about 5'8". I'm actually 5'4", to give you an idea of how long my legs are compared to my torso. So the point being is that it's hard getting on the bike at first, and it's just a different perspective being up so high for me when I'm used to being closer to the ground as somebody my height. But so yeah, I took a little bit of work to get my leg swung over the seat, which is so high, and then the bar, because I do ride. It's not a woman. It's a modified bike. It's not entirely a man's bike, not entirely a woman's bike. Somewhere in between there, but. You know, it was awesome to get back on the bike and ride the neighborhood, and I look forward to much longer rides now because I used to be a biking fiend back in the day, so I'm looking forward to getting back to that. So that's basically it for my 1 month report. I will do another report with statistics 1 month from now, thereabouts. I'm going to not do the weekly reports any longer with statistics. I have plenty of other things to talk about, and frankly, I think, you know, there comes a time where I think it's a little counterproductive to focus on statistics such as weight and inches. At least, I don't know, I don't find it quite as important as how I'm feeling and where I'm going with the fitness, and working on my skills to be able to not only take off the weight, but keep it off. You know, that I think is going to be where the real work is, and also working on all the issues of why I gained weight in the first place. So to me, that's the much heavier work to be done, and where I will feel much more accomplished if I can get all those things done. So that's it for tonight, and good night for everybody. Thank you to all the new subscribers. It really helps when you subscribe to me. I subscribe to you. If you have videos, I watch them. And so thank you, and please put in the comments, I would like to know what you consider the most important part of what you track each month or each week. What is it you look forward to, and why? I've given you my reasons for what I do and why. I look forward to hearing yours. So thank you, and you have a good evening.